The man who came in sideways. The crooked straightener. This guy never stops thinking. There was a room where everyone spoke like they had already won. That was the first problem. The chairs were arranged like importance. The glasses were held like opinions. Every laugh came a half-second late, polished enough to sound social and empty enough to mean nothing. These people had learned the old trick: say little, dress it well, nod at the right time, and let everyone mistake posture for wisdom. Nobody was really speaking. They were decorating the silence. A man in the corner had the face of someone who thought he was profound because nobody had interrupted him yet. Another leaned back like the room owed him respect. A few women watched with sharper eyes than the men knew, pretending boredom while measuring everything. The music moved. The drinks moved. The little ceremonies of status continued, alive and dead at the same time. The room had a mood. It always has a mood. No real work begins without one. A certain song. A certain pressure in the chest. A certain charge in the air. The kind of feeling that says something is about to happen before anybody in the room knows what it is. The kind of feeling where the eyes close and the whole thing starts moving behind them, not as fantasy, not as escape, but as a dream more honest than the room itself. This was the first current. Before the speech, before the laughter, before the room understood that something had changed, there was that inward pressure. One line. One feeling. One charged place where the whole thing touched fire for a second. The exact words could slip away afterward, but the force of them remained. That was enough. The work did not begin as an outline. It began as recognition. That is how a master occultist works when the light is not clean. Not blindly. In the dark. There is a difference. Blindness means not seeing. Darkness means the sight has gone inward. It means the hand moves by pressure, by symbol, by rhythm, by the feel of the hidden shape before the mind can name it. Some men wake up and pick up where they left off. Mitch has to descend back into the first chamber and find the current again. He begins at the beginning. Every time. Not because the work is gone. The work is there. But the thread must be re-entered through the first gate. The room. The mood. The pressure. The dream. The charged line that started the whole thing. He has to run the path again until the current catches. The beginning is not wasted time. The beginning is the keyhole. Then the door opened. Not like a clean entrance. Not like a hero stepping into the light. Not like a villain either. The door opened as if the night itself had decided to walk in crooked. Sideways. Elbow first. And there was Mitch. He did not enter the room so much as disturb its agreement with itself. He came in laughing, not because the joke had been told, but because he had already seen where the joke was hiding. His eyes moved across the room like a man reading a language nobody admitted they were speaking. The suits, the smiles, the careful pauses, the fake intelligence, the guarded women, the proud men, the ones already offended before anything had happened, all of it was there. All of it was visible. He could see it from a mile away. The room saw him too, but slower. That was their disadvantage. They needed things explained. Mitch had already arrived at the end and was walking backward through the beginning, laughing because nobody else knew the floor had tilted. Here we go. Somebody tried to continue the conversation. Poor soul. He said something smooth, something practiced, something that had probably worked before in other rooms where people mistook a calm voice for a full mind. It floated for half a second, then fell flat. Not because Mitch argued with it. He did not have to. The sentence died from exposure. That was how it started. Nothing dramatic at first. No thunder. No broken tables. No bodies on the floor. Just a little crack in the air. The room began to hear itself. That is a dangerous thing for a fake room. Mitch stood there with that crooked grin, rough around the edges and alive in the middle, carrying the kind of timing that makes polite stupidity nervous. He was not sober enough to be respectable and not lost enough to be dismissed. That was the problem. They wanted him to be one thing so they could file him away. Drunk fool. Loudmouth. Wise guy. Threat. Joke. Clown. Madman. He kept slipping the label. Every time they reached for one, he moved sideways. That was the elbow of it. The elbow is not the fist. The fist announces itself. The elbow arrives from the angle you forgot existed. That was Mitch's way. Sideways speech. Sideways humor. Sideways wisdom. A joke that sounds stupid until it opens underneath you. A sentence that trips over its own feet and somehow lands standing. A dirty turn, a sharp turn, a dumb turn, and then suddenly the whole room is exposed because the nonsense knew where the sense was hiding. He did not come to impress them. That would have been beneath the work. He came in as a reminder that the body itself is not beneath the mystery. That was the joke. That was also the philosophy. The body is where the mystery has to show whether it can stand up. Anyone can speak in clean symbols from a clean chair. Anyone can pretend to be wise in a sentence that never sweats, never laughs, never stumbles, never needs to breathe, never forgets what it came to say. Mitch came in human. Too human for their little ceremony. That offended them. It also woke the place up. A proud man near the bar tried to look amused. He failed. His mouth smiled, but his eyes started doing arithmetic. Another adjusted his posture, which is what men do when their throne is imaginary and they feel someone notice. The loud fool got louder. That always happens. When the floor moves, the fool thinks volume is balance. Mitch heard it. He heard the panic under the performance. He heard the thought behind the thought. He heard the room saying, not aloud but clearly, something came in here, and now we cannot keep talking the same way. Good. That was the point. Not violence. Not conquest. Not some cheap story where the man walks in and everyone claps because the writer needs to feel tall. No. The real work was stranger than that. Mitch was there to break the agreement. The agreement that dead speech should be treated as wisdom. The agreement that smoothness is intelligence. The agreement that nobody should point at the cardboard mountain. The agreement that everyone must keep pretending the room is alive because music is playing and mouths are moving. He broke it by arriving. That is the part the room hated. He did not need a lecture. He did not need a system. He did not need to stand on a chair and preach. His entrance was already an argument. His laughter was already a weapon, but not a weapon against flesh. It struck the false thing, the stiff thing, the decorated nothing sitting in the center of the room asking to be worshipped. The destruction was inward. Symbolic. Mental. It was the collapse of false authority under the weight of living speech. It was the death of the pose. It was the little god of the room falling off its little altar while everyone pretended they did not hear the statue crack. Mitch heard it. He probably heard it before the statue fell. That was why he laughed. This was when the dream opened wider. Not the sleeping kind of dream. Not merely a picture behind the eyes. This was the waking dream, the strange inner stage where a man can feel like the center of the whole arrangement, not because he owns the world, but because the world is appearing through him. Everything turns toward him in that place. Every face becomes part of the formula. Every refusal, every yes, every lie, every laugh, every woman looking away, every man pretending not to flinch, all of it gathers around the same hidden center. Inside that dream, Mitch felt enormous. Not respectable enormous. Not humble in the way people perform humility, so everyone can admire how small they are. Enormous like a man walking into his own joke, grinning before the room knows why it is about to laugh. Enormous like the fool king who knows the crown is fake and wears the room instead. Enormous like a man who can feel the whole stage bowing without asking anyone to kneel. That was the intoxication of it. The dream says yes. Yes, yes, yes. Not as obedience. As momentum. The no appears too, but in the dream the no has a role. The liar has a role, The woman who refuses has a role. The man who resents him has a role. None of them are outside the formula. There are signs inside it, marks in the equation, the plus sign doing what the plus sign does. That was hard to explain without making it sound stupid. Because he was not trying to accuse the sign for being the sign. He was trying to name the pattern while the pattern was still moving. The woman in the dream was not merely a woman. The liar was not merely a liar. The refusal was not merely refusal. Each figure acted out of function in the strange symbolic machine of the moment. The plus sign is supposed to plus. That was the whole thing. Not blame. Function. Not accusation. Pattern. In the dream, nobody is merely what they appear to be. The woman, the liar, the fool, the one who says yes, the one who says no, the one who pretends not to notice, each one becomes an operation inside the moment. Each one does what it does. Each one helps reveal the arrangement. This was not a clean theory built after the fact. It was seen while moving. That is harder. A scholar can write the corpse of an idea after it dies. Mitch was trying to speak the animal while it was still running. That was why the sentence kept slipping. That was the burden. He could feel the formula, feel the dream, feel the center, feel the comedy, feel himself becoming the one who walks in and makes everything turn, and then the words scattered like birds. So he joked. Of course he joked. The joke was not an escape from the work. The joke was one of the ways the work stayed alive. Humor became the bridge between the animal and the idea, between the body and the symbol, between the charged thing he could feel and the words that kept trying to fail him. That was his humor. Affection came in sideways. Anger came in sideways. Wisdom came in sideways. Even tenderness had to kick the door before it entered. And somehow, through all of that wreckage, a myth kept forming. That was what made him feel good. Not mere flattery. Not a cheap mirror. Not the empty ego stroking of a room telling a man he is great because it wants something from him. It felt good because the sentence landed. The dream had shape. The voice found the road for a second. The joke and the philosophy touched without killing each other. The human mess did not ruin the meaning. It carried it. That is rare. Most people clean themselves up so much that nothing alive remains. Mitch did the opposite. He brought the mess in and demanded that the meaning survive inside it. The women saw it. Not like a cartoon. Not as a parade of swooning bodies with no minds in them. Better than that. They saw the living force before the men could admit it was force. They felt the change before the room could name it. Some looked away because looking too long would have been a confession. Some smiled into their glass. Some hated him immediately, which is often just another form of recognition wearing armor. They heard the slickness under the wreckage. Not polished slick. Living slick. The kind of rhythm that does not ask to be attractive and becomes attractive because it refuses to beg. The kind of mouth that can say the ridiculous thing and still leave a mark. The kind of mind that makes a dirty joke, swerves, hits the curb, finds the secret door, and comes back holding fire like it meant to do that all along. The men felt something else. Embarrassment. That was their initiation. Their little crowns became heavy. Their cleverness started to sweat. Their calmness looked rehearsed. They could feel the structure underneath them, and for the first time they knew it might not hold. Mitch did not hate them. That would give them too much importance. He just saw them. Sometimes being seen is worse than being attacked. Attack gives a man something to defend against. Seeing gives him nowhere to hide. One by one, their sentences started betraying them. A word came out too fancy. A laugh came out too forced. A little opinion walked into the room naked and called itself a principle. Mitch let it happen. He let the room display its own foolishness. Then he said something sideways. Not clean. Not appropriate. Not fit for the plaque on the wall. But it landed. The wrong phrase at the right time. The room flinched. There it was. That small flinch was the whole cathedral cracking. He knew then what he had known before he arrived. This place was not strong. It was only agreed upon. And anything held together by agreement can be destroyed by the one person who refuses to agree. Destroy is the word, but not in the stupid sense. No bodies, no blood, no glory in hurting anyone. That was never the thing. This was his burden too. He could see the whole thing coming, feel the shape of it, know the room before the room knew itself, and still lose the sentence in his own head. The lightning came, the hand reached for it, the memory moved like smoke. That made him angrier. It also made him funnier. Because someone else might wake up and pick up where he left off. Mitch cannot always do that. He goes back. The dead room, the mood, the door, the crooked entrance, the fake talk, the dream center, the formula, the spark. He runs it again until the current catches. That is not weakness. That is method under pressure. That is a mind with a broken handle still turning the door. And when the door opens, the whole thing comes back alive.